Hi folks, my name is Rob and welcome to Impactful Life, where we help you make an impact so you can lead a full life. Today, we're continuing our series on Dr. Stephen Covey's best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Over the past few weeks, we've been breaking this book down and taking a look at each of the 7 habits, and I hope you've been following along. Now, if not, feel free to check out the 7 Habits playlist that we've created. All of the videos in this series are numbered to make it easier for you to follow along in the sequence. Now we're up to habit 5, and I'm going to tell you what that is right after this. Welcome back. Now let's make an impact. In our series on the 7 habits of highly effective people, we've been breaking down each habit and taking a good hard look at how each of them has the potential to make us more effective, both personally and interpersonally. Now, the first 3 habits encouraged us to work on ourselves first, and now we're moving on to becoming more effective with other people. Last week, I shared my thoughts on habit 4, which is to think win-win. Today, we're moving on to habit 5, which Dr. Covey says is the single most important principle he's ever learned in the field of interpersonal relationships. That habit is this: seek first to understand, then to be understood. He believes this one habit is the key to effective communication. Let me ask you a question. Do you consider yourself to be a good listener? Most people do, but the fact is, most of us are not very good listeners. We don't listen with the intent to understand. We listen with the intent to reply. Dr. Covey says when we're communicating with another person, we're either speaking or preparing to speak. When someone is trying to open up to us, we tend to filter everything through our own experiences and then rush to judgment and try to fix the other person's problem. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're going through. Let me tell you what to do. Oh, I know how this movie ends, so let me just save you some time. Well, hey, I don't need to hear all the facts. Just follow my advice and it'll all work out. Imagine for a minute if you go to the doctor, and as you start to describe your symptoms, the doctor stops you and says, oh, okay, I don't need to know everything that's going on with you. Here's your prescription. Well, that's what it feels like to the other person when we listen to respond. Dr. Covey says that when another person is speaking, there's really 4 common levels of listening. Level 1 is not listening at all. I mean, have you ever tried to have a conversation with someone while their face is buried in their cell phone? It's fun having to repeat yourself over and over, isn't it? Level 2 is pretending to listen, where every now and then you throw in a couple, Level 3 is selective hearing, or just catching parts of the conversation. And then level 4 is attentive listening, where you're actually focusing on the other person and hearing every word the other person is saying. But Dr. Covey says that very few of us practice a 5th level, which is empathic listening. It's the act of listening with the intent to understand. And that's the first half of habit number 5. Empathic listening is based on empathy, not sympathy. And the distinction is very important. When you sympathize with someone, you make a judgment and then you actually agree with them. Empathy, on the other hand, has nothing to do with whether or not you agree with them. It's the act of fully understanding where the other person is coming from. It's listening not only with your ears, but with your eyes and your heart. If you Google how to become a better listener, you'll get over 5 million results. And most of the suggestions come in the form of, little tips and techniques such as active or reflective listening. One common approach is to suggest repeating or rephrasing what you're hearing back to the person saying it. Have you ever had anybody do this to you? It's weird. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, but it's just kind of weird. Oh man, work has been so stressful lately. So you're saying work has been stressful lately? Yeah, that's what I just said. I mean, just because you heard what I said and you're able to repeat it, that doesn't mean that you understand what I'm saying. You're not putting yourself in my place. If you're doing it just to make sure that you heard me right, that's one thing. But without a sincere desire to understand me first, most people can see right through this technique. And some maybe find it a bit insulting. Dr. Covey says if you're not sincere, then don't even try. In a previous video, we talked about the importance of building up our emotional bank account with another person. And Dr. Covey says that empathic listening, or truly seeking to understand first, is a tremendous deposit. In fact, he suggests that it's impossible to build up your emotional bank accounts if the people that you deal with on a regular basis don't feel really understood. So how do we do it? Well, the first step is to diagnose before you prescribe. Now, this is true in the doctor's office, but it also applies in the boardroom, the classroom, the courtroom, and at home. Assess the situation and get all the facts first. Don't be in too big of a hurry to respond that you fail to fully assess the situation. There's a reason that a jury deliberates only after both sides have presented their case. Dr. Covey points out that for many people, seek first to understand becomes the most exciting and the most immediately applicable of all the 7 habits. Now, that doesn't mean it's easy to do. In fact, it takes a lot of practice. I personally struggle with this all the time. Just ask my wife. My brain tends to wander even when I'm not distracted by my phone or something else. But at least I'm aware of the problem and I'm trying to get better. Most people aren't. Now, the second half of this habit is then be understood. Dr. Covey doesn't spend a lot of time discussing this part of the habit, and I believe it's because most of us don't have a problem getting our point across. In fact, that's typically what's going through our mind when we're supposed to be listening. Seeking to understand requires consideration. Seeking to be understood requires courage. And finding a win-win solution requires both. As you go throughout the next few days, I want you to work on this habit by making a concerted effort to give your undivided attention to the conversations that you're involved in, and make an effort to truly understand first before trying to be understood. Diagnose, then prescribe. In our next video, I'm going to share a quote with you that will inspire and motivate you to work on this habit so you can continue to become a little bit more effective. But right now, I'd like to know what you think about this habit. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you plan to work on your ability to listen with empathy and understand first? Have you had any success with this in the past? Well, if so, I want you to share your experiences with us so we can learn from you. And if you struggle with this and you want some help, then reach out to the IMPACTfull community and let us know what you need help with. Remember, seek first to understand, then to be understood, so you can start to make an impact and lead a full life. So that's it for today's review. But before you go, make sure you give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you don't already follow our channel. Also, be sure to follow us on social media, and if you'd like to make an impact on someone else and help us grow this channel by reaching more people, you're welcome to post this video to your social media accounts by clicking the share button below. Finally, be sure to check out our website where you can find our blog and add your name to our email list so you don't miss out on the information that we share with our readers to help them make an impact and lead a full life. We'll put all those in the description below. I'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Now go make an impact.